It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
You know it is, and it's Mike Matthews, and this is
Mike's Daily Podcast.
episode 2795, 2795, and it's Mike Matthews here today, and I don't know if your eyes are seeing an eclipse. If not, that's okay. It is in the description of this podcast that we were not going to talk about the eclipse.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But that we were going to talk about stuff happening at the beginning of the week. And we were going to talk about, some things.
Mike's
in your
Daily
past.
Podcast.
That might be interesting.
Yeah!
The stuff in your past is in this podcast. And the stuff in your future. Apple is secretly building home robots, a move that appears to be an effort to create its next big thing. After it killed the self-driving car project they were doing earlier this year, developing a robot that could follow users around their houses is the plan. You know, they're behind with the AI stuff too. All the other big FANG stock, the Big Seven, the Magnificent Seven, whatever they call them, they all got AI, but not so much the Apple. Another idea Apple explored was a robot that could do chores like washing dishes. Isn't that called a dishwasher? Don't we already have that? That's been around since the 80s at least. And could be used for video calls? Okay. What does that do? It just, hey, robot, I need to do a video call. Make me look nice. Doesn't most videos like channel the recorder broadcaster thingies? You click on a button and it makes you look like, oh, you didn't need to put makeup on today, or that you're in a beautiful location like on the beach. Well, and all of that.
And here's today's podcast picture.
That's what Apple's trying to do. Oh, the podcast picture's not of Apple, but of a very cool cat that is not a robot. He is a live being that's a lot of fun, but never lets me take a nap, which is ironic because cats take naps. They're known for it. They call them cat naps. So I didn't get to take one because every time I would, he'd meow. Or did he bark? Nope, that was the late great Basil the Boxer that used to bark. And he was great for keeping cats away, but occasionally he wouldn't let me take a nap either. He'd be like, let's go, and make that same noise. So ESPN's standalone streaming service is going to be on Disney Plus next year.
Interesting.
The coverage of the NCAA women's basketball tournament game between Iowa and LSU drew in more than 12 million viewers. Viewership that beat every men's NCAA tournament game but one. All NBA finals games.
It's a nightmare of a show.
Thank you. But one in every World Series game in the most recent MLB postseason. So Walt Disney is betting big on ESPN as the Burbank Entertainment Company bolsters its streaming options and charts its future.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Okay. Why you work? I don't think that guy works for Disney. Don't think. He might like this guy. He might work for, since Twitter let him back on. Musk tweeted 52 times about Tesla's delivery disaster. Only 2 about Tesla. Tesla's going through a mini crisis.
Mike, it's Mikey Fikey. Great.
That's who I am. And its CEO, Elon Musk, seems detached. The first quarter was an unmitigated disaster. Musk didn't seem all that concerned by the weak results. He spent the day after the release tweeting about anything except Tesla. 52 tweets about politics.
Everybody make some noise!
Immigration and wokeness.
Bringing to you
What?
live from
Podcaster Valentino.
Podcaster Valleymont.
Close enough.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, somewhere in Podcaster Valleymont, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, is where we are today. Tesla felt like an afterthought with 2 tweets. This according to Rob Black. I produce his podcast. He does a show on AM 1220 KDOW on the radio in the 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock hour, Monday through Friday. And he's on Cron TV in the 9 o'clock hour talking business type stuff. And I have a
What's the cliche of the week?
or an X account.
What's the cliche of the week?
At Mike Talks is what it is.
What's the cliche of the week?
So there was
What's the cliche of the week?
There was a tweet that was a response to a picture, including a Cybertruck from Kim Kardashian, was what Elon tweeted. The other was a shot of an unhappy Tesla shareholder. Okay.
What's the cliche of the week?
He's an obsessed
What's the cliche of the week?
Twitter fan.
What's the cliche of the week?
So obsessed,
What's the cliche of the week?
he bought it and renamed it. And Tesla's down about 32% from the beginning of the year. Oh, and then in other political stuff, the Biden administration's new target is the war on junk fees. Mortgage closing costs. Did you know closing costs rose $100 or 22% in one recent year to an average of $5,954? And yes, that is yet another story that we're hearing this year in particular about how the real estate industry is being shooken up. And part of that got started, it seems, around the time that
Ridiculous random post.
the interest rates went up. And that's my ridiculous random post about that. So, yes, I don't know. I know when you buy or sell a house, you probably want an expert, a professional, someone to help you. But they sure make a lot of money. So all of that is in check. I'm in an industry, in the radio industry, where it seems like the bar was set low for how much money we make. Unless you're a huge...
The Newsbleed section.
This is the interesting news here. Unless you're a huge name, huge brand recognition, but, you know, who really decides that? I guess the people. But people, they cling on to whatever... Klingons. I should speak a little Klingon now. I can't. But whatever's being inundated through the radio, through social media, people...
Might rip someone a new one.
They sometimes take on to stuff like that. That's my little rip on that topic. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valley 10, the last place on earth. And if you want some other interesting Biden news, according to Bloomberg, the Biden administration won't move forward with its latest plans to buy oil for the Strategic Petroleum Reserve amid rising prices. The Energy Department said...
The Mike tip.
This is my tip. That it was keeping the taxpayers' interest in the forefront in its decision not to purchase as many as 3 million barrels of oil for a Strategic Petroleum Reserve site in Louisiana. That sounds like a powder keg ready to blow up. That would not be good. The move follows a rally in crude prices, with the U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate on Tuesday breaking above $85 a barrel for the first time since October. Yes, it has been expensive lately, gas.
The Micropedia Insanika.
And this is what I've discovered with this Encyclopedia Insanika that I have for you. That the Biden administration has a target to buy oil at $79 or lower to refill the reserve. So they want a better price. Which, it's interesting to me that conservatives complain that he's not buying oil, but hey, maybe he's waiting for the right price. Isn't that something that your guy, the Art of the Deal guy, would want? I don't know. The complaints I hear on both sides, and I know that is both sidism, but still, the complaints you hear, and that's mostly my comment on talk radio.
Mike's absolutely useless review.
My useless review about that. Talk radio is basically made up of complainers, whiny white men, and a bunch of just complaining about this and that. And we have The guy running for president trying to unseat Biden complains most of the time when he's behind the mic or the camera. So it just seems that is the part, that's that nature. There's no what is the uplifting thing going on talk radio these days? Maybe the uplifting thing is happening in podcasts because you have people, mostly podcasts or interviews, and someone talking to someone, hey, tell us about this. How do we do this?
Live and Loco.
And in this Live and Loco segment, we are a little loco, That's okay. So how about a little loco from Winky that sent me, she sends me funny things. Winky Vanover, or I hope she didn't run over something. But she used to be good friends with my mom, and when my mom passed, Winky kept sending me the emails she used to send my mom, which are always very funny. She just grabs onto all this comedy stuff. And one of these says,
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Theater.
If I may, I'm going to try and be a little theatrical. Okay. I never called you stupid, but when I asked you to spell orange and you asked me the fruit or color, it kind of caught me off guard. Oh, that's that thing people do when they say, hey, how do you spell orange? And then what's your favorite color, or what's the color of the fruit? It's some weird mind game people do on each other. Here's another one. Every woman's dream is that a man will take her in his arms, throw her into bed, and clean the house while she sleeps. Oh, Winky. Let's see. You come from the dust.
Matthew's News.
Here's the news here. You come from dust, you will return to dust. That's why I don't dust. It could be someone I know. And this is a good one, too, for this podcast, because sometimes I say, I don't know if anyone listens to this podcast, and if no one listens to this podcast, does it even exist? But here it says, if a tree falls on your ex in the woods and no one is around to hear it, you should probably still get rid of the chainsaw.
Wine.
Well, I like
The Whiny White Man Wine List.
That's right. That's what talk radio is. It's all a bunch of whiny white men. We are not aging. We are ripening to perfection. Okay, and one last one. We all know mirrors don't lie. I'm just grateful that they don't laugh. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, and I save all of Winky's emails because
News Random.
that's my news for you. Oh, this piece of news. I save them all because they make me smile. Even if they may not be funny, they just make me smile, and we need more smiles in this world. So Kristen Wiig was welcomed into the SNL Five Timers Club with cameos from Ryan Gosling and Paul Rudd. She joined the Five Timers Club. Is that true, though? Is she really a five-time? Do we consider that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because she used to be a cast member. So, I mean, she's been on more than 5 times with all the years and times. And she was one of the best cast members. It was after she left Saturday Night Live that things got bad. She did some awful movies. The best movie she did, if I may say, with my totally useless review, Bridesmaids. And that little character, that side character she did, it was a real short, small role. But as we know in show business, there are no small roles, only horses. I mean, small actors. She did this tiny role in Knocked Up, where Katherine Heigl, she works for Ryan Seacrest's show, or she's on E! Or something like that. And she's supposed to step in front of the camera. Oh, by the way, that horse is Nelly, and we'll talk to Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster in just a second. But yeah, so she's working on the show that Katherine Heigl is a host on, and they're promoting her to be on television with Ryan Seacrest, and they're giving her some tips. And of course, this is Hollywood, and it's very shallow, and it's all about appearance. So they're telling Kristen Wiig's characters, saying these little things off camera, basically, to her saying, you could lose some weight. You're really fat. And she does that thing with her big eyes, Kristen Wiig, where she just does the big eye thing, and then she says really mean comments like, I don't know, now I'm thinking of Gilly. Gilly? What? Gilly? Gilly. Sorry. That's one of the best characters, too. But she is now part of the Five Timers Club, which used to be Steve Martin, Paul Simon, Alec Baldwin, and a couple other guys. Now, let's see who it was. She took a moment to acknowledge the cameo. Oh, Paul Rudd was there, Matt Damon, then Lorne Michaels, who is the SNL creator, John Hamm, who's been on a billion times, Martin Short, who used to be a cast member, Fred Armisen, Will Forte, who was MacGruber and also was on that show, The Last Man on Earth, I think it was. And then Ryan Gosling was on there too. So, good for her. I just hope she finds better stuff. The Wonder Woman movie that she did, there was this awful movie she did with Bill Hader, and it had Kristen Stewart and Jesse Eisenberg. What was that called? Adventureland? Oh, I couldn't stand that movie. And it was supposed to be all groundbreaking because, it's got music from the 80s in it. Oh, it was terrible. There's others. I can't. What is her latest one? It doesn't say here. Well, if you can think of a movie that was any good that she did, other than Bridesmaids and that little part she had in Knocked Up. Anyway, Café Anyway, look who's here. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
Wow, Mike, you sure are opinionated.
Well, we're all opinionated. I mean, you're disgruntled. You have a disgruntled opinion about the fiddle, right?
Yeah, I do not like the fiddle. That's why I'm the Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
So, we call people opinionated, and we mean it as an insult, basically. But in the end, we all have opinions. Some of us just don't say them. It's that whiny white man or whatever type man or woman you are thing. But that's what it seems like. That's what talk radio is all of. And we're going to hear a little bit of non-talk radio in just a moment, but old-timey radio from about 30 years ago when yours truly was just a 20-year-old something. But look who else is here.
Oh, man, I can make delicious root beer. Have some on the
Thank you. Oh.
Wow, Judge, wow.
Oh, that's good. Yum. Wow. That's fantastic. That's invigorating. What kind of root beer is that?
Mac, I don't know what I put in that time. It's boy, drink right now. Cut you.
I don't think I want to know. Why? What? Huh? Probably just caffeine. Or whatever that white powder was.
Mr. President, are you suggesting President Biden's using cocaine?
I don't know what he's using, but that was not, hey, he was higher than a kite. And by the way, it was the worst address I've ever seen. State of the Nation. I'll tell you, State of the Union, that's not State of the Union because he doesn't represent us properly. That I can tell you.
Okay, let's go back in time, shall we, and listen to some radio from the 30s, 40s, some stuff that I found, the 30s and 40s, more like the 80s, 90s, some of the 2000s, some of the O's, as I call it, that I found on cassette. This is the segment called Let's Go Back with Matthew.
Cassette Copy.
Oh my gosh.
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
And I think maybe it was 87. They gave me the overnight shift on the weekend when nobody was listening.
Mike's scavenger hunt.
Later on, I got to do this shift for 197. And what's interesting, this Santa Barbara's Hot FM is what it was called. And they had it was KHTY. And it was a top 40 station. We were playing the most popular stuff at the time. In fact, I was listening to this one part of this tape. I'm not going to play it for you, but I heard myself say, a young 20-something Mike say, "Oh, that Duran Duran song, that new one is really good." It was a song called All She Wants Is. Oh my gosh, it's a fantastic video. Wow, it's got mannequins in it. It's awesome. But I just watched that video again and I thought it was awful. So it is. That just shows how, as we get older, our opinions change, as we are all opinionated, and those opinions tend to change. They mature, they grow, or they whittle away and decompose and wither. So what I think... Oh, but there is an interesting video. If you look up, somebody else made a video to All She Wants Is by Duran Duran about 8 years ago, and it's a bunch of young people dancing in the city somewhere. It might be in London, and they're doing all these cool dance moves. So, and it's all filmed in black and white. So that was a pretty cool video. I caught that. But yes, so here we go, back in time to 1989, and a young Mike Matthews playing some Dire Straits.
KHTY 197, good morning, it's 3:10 with Rick Astley. She wants to dance with me.
Rick Astley, see? He didn't just do the Rickroll song. He also had that one. 3:10 in the morning. Yeah, see, overnights. 1989. Smooth Criminal. Wow. Michael Jackson.
KHTY 197 with Mike Matthews, the early morning substitute disc jockey. Where are you working at right now?
The adult bookstore.
The adult bookstore. And you guys are open right now?
Yeah, we're open 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
That's for everybody who wants to sneak in, and don't want to be seen.
Yeah, I know. I can relate. Well, I mean, I can't, but I can relate, actually. What are you doing right now? Give me a call, 965-9797.
Dig yourself out of that one, Mike. Wow, live on the radio there. Because it was all live back then. Pretty much. But that's who's listening at 3 in the morning. And those type places, they don't really exist anymore, do they? Not that I know.
HDY 197, that's the latest from Eddie Money and the love in your eyes. Well, get this. A new dynamic duo is handling the vocals for the main theme of the upcoming Sybil Shepherd Ryan O'Neal movie called Chances Are. Peter Cetera and Cher. Yeah, they collaborated on the tune. It's called After All, which will be released as a single in mid-February. Cetera says he loves singing with Cher, calls her incredibly talented and hardworking, and says he'd do it again anytime. I think that's the last time Cher was singing a duet with anybody. It was with Sonny Bono. Peter Cetera and Cher. Here's New Shoes, and I Can't Wait, 197.
New Shoes. That's right. Peter Cetera and Cher did a duet. I forgot about that. That was a big song. This was what was that band called? Escape Club. A song called Shake the Chic. Wow, some stuff doesn't age well, does it? Yikes.
KHCY 197 with the Escape Club and Shake for the Shake. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I don't know. Hey, good morning. 197 weather, mostly sunny today with a high of 70 and a low of 45. Currently in Santa Barbara, it's 46 degrees with U2 and Angel of Harlem.
Oh, that was a great U2 song. You don't hear that song that much. You hear, I still haven't found what I'm looking for, Beautiful Day, and With or Without You constantly. But that was a great one. Okay, then a little bit later, in 91, 92, I was on this other station.
That's 988-0130.
Oh, yeah, it was an adult contemporary station. So Mike had to try and sound a little more adult, even though he was still in his 20s and a youngin'. And here I'm in my 50s and my voice still sounds like a youngin'. So here
Space is limited, so call the Radisson
this
now.
This is me trying to sound older.
For information and reservations, make it a New Year's celebration to remember. And taking a look at KKUR 2020 weather, updated at 20 minutes before the hour. Possible thunderstorms this afternoon. Sure looks like it with highs in the upper 50s. Showers ending this evening with lows in the upper 30s, becoming partly cloudy Monday. Currently at the Ventura Harbor Village, it's 50 with the Pointer Sisters on KKUR.
Yeah, that was an interesting shift because it was in the harbor, the Ventura Harbor, and we were right on this peninsula. Beautiful area. Oh my gosh. Just like, I strongly suggest you, if you are on a trip, you go visit it. It's a beautiful area there in the Ventura Harbor. And there's a place called Andrea's Seafood that I wonder if my friend Nick still works at. He's a great guy. He gave me a couple of free fish and chips. And then there was this building that downstairs was this, what were they called? They would take you out to the Channel Islands because you're just off the coast. Just off the coast there are the Channel Islands in Anacapa. And this boat service would take you out there. And they were downstairs. Upstairs, we had a radio station. And it was called KKUR, as in your radio, with the UR. And there are a lot of radio stations that start with KK, and then they come up with the last two letters to represent whatever it is. Like, let's say you're in Utah. You might go KKUT or something. Although KUTA call letters. See, everything west of the Mississippi has to start with a K. Everything east of the Mississippi has to start with a W. And I did experience some W radio stations when I lived in Alabama. I had to work for a radio station that had a W. We were WWFF. And I think those call letters still exist, but the stations changed formats. At any rate, a little bit more of KKUR.
Better Music 105.5 KKUR. And here's an idea for you for your next party, something that you should do. Bob Seger is going to explain it to you right now.
Just take those old things I don't need.
Oh, Paul Carrick.
Better Music 105.5 KKUR. Good morning, Mike Matthews with you on this Sunday, 8:06. George Michael with very special guest. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. I don't think the sun even came up today. So dark outside. KKUR. I can't without beautiful woman. You want your eyes. Better Music 105.5 KKUR. Good morning, Mike Matthews with you at 8:30 on your early Sunday morning. You can hear the year's biggest hits and comments from the superstars who made them New Year's Eve right here on Better Music 105.5.
Yeah, we were playing like the 70s and all that stuff. 60s. Da-da-da-da. It was a wonderful station. But when you're that close to the coast, and that's the one problem with the Ventura Harbor, is because it gets so hot inland in Thousand Oaks and Simi Valley, you end up with, they call it lo hung mung. It doesn't sound appropriate, but phrasing. But that is what they would call it, because it was always just these low clouds would be there all the time, and it'd almost be foggy. So that's what I experienced in the wonderful land of Ventura. One more now. This is now from the O's. This is about 10 years after what we just heard. And we are here on the country radio station.
Matt Michael.
Oh my gosh, Sean Rader's in the room. What were you eating with Carl and Sling Blade?
He had French fried potato with mustard. I reckon they're pretty good.
Wow, you could have played both parts. The cafe is heard only on
KHAY.
100.7 KHAY with KA's Matt Michael.
So what's new? How's Magic Mountain?
Great.
It's great?
Yeah.
You making a lot of money there?
Not really.
No? Who's that?
My dad and my dog.
Your dad and dog? What, are they in your bedroom?
Yeah. Huh?
Why are they in your bedroom? Your dad and your dog. Or are you in the doghouse?
I'm not in the doghouse.
Where are you?
In my bedroom.
What the heck? What's going on with the dog and the dad?
I said puppy sleeps in my room with me.
All right. What's your
Radio DJ.
I feel so out of the loop right now. Little Texas, first time for everything. Shadazy, little goodbyes just ahead of that. And we're going to get to Pam Tillis next, and we'll get to the KH Santa Fe Cafe. In fact, let's get there now. We are leaving the KH studio, walking out to the Matt bus. And Felix, the bus driver.
Yeah, where to, Matt?
The KH Santa Fe Cafe, Felix, is basically what I'm...
No tush pushing on my bus.
Don't you understand you could flip the thing over doing that?
This Memorial Day.
Yes, those were some of the calls I would get. And that is what we would call in the KHAY land, KHAY land, we would have things happen like John Ritter visit and weird calls like that, the late John Ritter, and the strange calls. And then we would also have the music from Madonna looping around in the background there. Oh, Magic Mountain, by the way, an amusement park that's near Ventura. It's not Ventura County. It's considered Valencia. But that amusement park I used to go to when I was a kid. And I would not go there now. The rides there for a 50-year-old, probably not the best rides for you to ride. With your body at an increased risk for strokes after all your years of eating French fries and other oil-saturated type foods, probably having your body pushed to the limits in these centrifugal force nightmares, torture chambers, is not the best idea. Oh, but Mike, it's so much fun. I get so sick on those. But anyway, Café Anyway, those were some fun times. And one other little piece from the Santa Fe Cafe.
Hey. Yay! Hello. Welcome to the Santa Fe Cafe.
Thank you, Joe.
On 100.7 KHAY Ventura.
We got Lone Star on the way, Faith Hill, Travis Tritt, and the new Shadazy tune, Mine All Mine, coming up, Reba, and right now Aaron Tippin, Where the Stars and Stripes, and the Eagle Fly. Tonight, it's your crazy, weird, wacky, wild wedding stories. It seems like something odd always happens during them. Tell me your stories.
Hi, this is Aaron Tippin, and you're tuned to the craziest DJ I've ever heard. Matt Michaels. He has more personalities than Sybil.
Stay tuned for the Radio Roadhouse.
You can only hear it on 100.7 KHAY, the KH Santa Fe Cafe.
My name was Matt Michaels back then. It was flipped around. Yes. Mine All Mine by Shadazy, by the way, was featured in that movie Sweet Home Alabama that Reese Witherspoon did. And I recently added that music video to my playlist on YouTube for Best Obscure Rock Songs found by Mike Matthews, which there's a link to at my website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Also where you can see today's podcast picture. Okay, one more.
By listening to the KH Santa Fe Cafe, you've arrived like this KH Cafe caller.
Be My Baby Tonight out to Jenny.
Yeah.
You want her to be your baby tonight?
Sure.
Why not?
You bet.
Where are you driving there?
Back to Fillmore.
Oh, okay. Very good. Fillmore is your home. How long you been there?
I've only been there a month.
Oh.
But she's been there about a year.
All right. And John Michael Montgomery.
6'5".
I hope they're still together. All right, that wasn't a very good one.
100.7 KHAY. This is Matt Michaels. I'm at the KH Santa Fe Cafe. And the cafe question tonight having to do with weddings and how sometimes things go slightly, they're not always perfectly how you thought them. Sometimes they are for a few people. But most people I know have had at least one or two interesting things go awry. Like, I don't know, the cake showed up late, or the preacher showed up drunk, or something to that effect. And we are finding those out from you. And oh, look who's here. It's the Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
I might tell you what, I can't find my fiddle.
Sure.
No, really, I can't. It's gone.
You know, DFP, some people, the reason why things turn up missing in their lives is because subconsciously they want to lose them.
Yeah, stop with that psychological I lost it. Gotta help me find it.
First, I gotta play Shadazy's new one, Mine All Mine.
All right, there's a throwback to early Disgruntled Fiddle Player. And now we're going to play you something new. We did something old. We did something blue. I don't know what the blue thing was. A Smurf just ran by in front of me outside a Café Anyway. But now we bring you the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. Here we go. Here are some songs that were emailed to me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to play them for you. You tell me which one you like best, okay? That sounds like fun. Doesn't that sound like something you'd hear on the radio back in the day? In fact, I used to do something called the New Country Preview that we would do that. So here's a little bit. First, we'll go to someone named, what is this? SF artist Sis, S-I-S, announces their third album. And they go by they. And first full length since 2019, which will be released on their own Native Cat label. Okay, and this is a song. Oh, it's called Vibhuti, an emotionally concentrated yet musical roving document of spiritual awakening by Sis, the recording project of Jenny Gillespie Mason. Ah, okay, that's the picture of this woman here is Jenny. A series of healing dreams led her to want to create music that could be the expression of their own Vibhuti, the Sanskrit term for the divine spirit in the human body. The result is an album that merges spiritual life with a constant restless search for the new in one's music. Yeah, okay, so she's got the Jenny Gillespie Mason. That's all interesting and everything, and this is a bizarre email, and it is worded very bizarrely. But the dress she's got on is this beautiful green dress. And it's, wow. I wonder if some local San Francisco clothes maker made this, because it's interesting. Okay, but you can't show that in this radio type podcast. That's all audio. So I guess you'll just have to look her up. Sis is the name of the band, and her name is Jennifer Gillespie Mason. And here is the song called Vibhuti.
That if you completely surrender your suffering.
And by the way, this song is on Bandcamp if you want to download that. But okay, so that is Sis. And now song number 2 is by a award-winning artist, Maya. Maya Davies is a bilingual Juno and ECMA nominated producer, songwriter, and recording artist from Montreal. Her new single, Lift Me Up, is out now on Acronym Records. It's a sincere, lush tale of personal growth from heartbreak to hopefulness. And here is a little bit of Lift Me Up by Maya Davies.
I talk myself to sleep. Life has got a different feel here in my cloud. I'm so far out of reach. I've got nobody to call, no one who cares.
And she's on YouTube, and I can only play that much because otherwise I'll get dinged by YouTube. So, and I'm up to 59 subscribers, so I don't want to lose the YouTube channel because they like to throw strikes on you and then pull your whole channel out from underneath, deplatform you, as they say. But Maya Davies has over 2,000 subscribers, so way to go. There she is with Lift Me Up. And the last song to play for you that you can vote on is by sibling duo Jackie and her brother, debut on dreamy single You've Changed. Toronto-based duo Jackie and her brother are Jackie and Mark Andrade, a pair of siblings who make emotional, reflective music from their home studio with a DIY sound and aesthetic. Here is their song called You've Changed.
And all my fears, where all my dreams were made.
And they're on YouTube YouTube, and they only have 2 subscribers, so maybe show them some love and subscribe. But there you go. You've Changed by Jackie and her brother. Okay, I don't know which one you like best, so let me know. The 3 songs were by the Sis, Vivhuti, Maya Davies, and Lift Me Up, and Jackie and her brother with You've Changed. You can call me at this number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for All.
And with more ways to reach me, I just spent $300 on the web page that I have to do that every year because of the maintenance fees and all that. So I would sure appreciate it if you did check out my website, mikesdailypodcast.com. And with that and all the other ways to find me, here's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!